Hi.
Alright, guys, welcome back to the Unholy.
You good?
Yo. Welcome back.
We're dead. Dying.
The Unholy Trinity podcast.
Yo. One of us is now decadarian.
What?
How do you say like sexcentenarian is someone who's 100. So someone who's 10 is a decadarian.
Decathlon.
I suppose so.
So you're a bidecathlon.
Yeah. I mean, aren't we
Like
all within
Biden.
our by the decathlon days?
Biden is not 20.
Yeah, man, ain't 20. But I guess
But then
yeah.
why is he named Biden then?
Two den.
Mm-hmm. The questions
What is a den?
Will
left
there be
unanswered.
answers? I don't know.
Be a happy birthday to our boy here.
Thank you.
Can we get an F in the chat? I mean, can we get happy birthdays in the chat?
Damn.
Get some claps and some EPs.
You have to edit in some of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our boy here is in his 2-decade mark.
Yeah, man. Feeling old.
If you were a used car, you'd be depreciating in a rapid pace.
But if I was... What was something that was popular 20 years ago? What was 20 years ago?
NSYNC.
Yeah, and NSYNC have had a resurgence, right? They put out a song in the movie Troll.
Oh yeah, they did.
But now people don't like Justin Timberlake.
They call me Lake.
Just Timberlake. Yeah.
I'm so
And then he
lost.
starts beatboxing.
This is something from 20 years ago. You wouldn't understand.
Coming for you is the next episode.
Oh, wait, you're not 20, right?
Not 20 yet.
Yeah.
No, still a little baby.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
his
yeah.
I mean,
10
my
years.
time is soon to come anyways.
Everyone's
I should
time.
maybe start organizing a party if I want to have one.
Party, yeah.
Maybe.
Funny party.
I don't know what I
Political party. Run
Yes.
for Prime Minister.
The Prime Minister.
If you were going to make a political party, what would be your program of interest? What would be your stance?
What's a program?
What would separate you from the rest?
Yeah.
Am I just gonna make the CCP in Australia?
That already exists. That's the Australian Communist Party.
Yeah, but it's not the.
Oh, if you could
Chinese
say that's
Communist
Dan
Party.
Andrews, mate.
Oh yeah, Dan Andrews is even
true.
better.
Yeah.
I just noticed. Do you have a hole on your
Oh
shirt?
yeah, I actually shouldn't be showing my shirt. This is a work outfit, so technically I'm not meant to. Hold on, give me a.
You gotta cover up the
Hold up,
sexy
hold up.
holes. You don't want to reveal what
Hold up.
is hidden.
Hold up.
What are we holding up?
Well, I think
for?
as long as you
Oh,
don't
wait,
flap your wings a lot, you're good.
Cool. I'm not wearing.
Hold the phone.
Oh, okay.
Hold the phone.
A hoodie. Lost in the sauce, but I keep.
It's under
Tell
there.
them to bring out the whole ocean.
That's right. DJ Khaled should make a political party. It'll be the Khaled party. We the best music party.
Damn.
If he's be the best music party, then I'll be the silly party.
That probably. I feel like that's already
the
exists.
silliest and the goofies.
Damn, the Silly Goose Party.
Yeah. Oh, yes, the silly goose party.
Yeah.
Your first legislation would be to mandate silliness in the workplace.
1 day of silly in the workplace. Yes.
Yeah.
And he will abolish sick leave and pregnancy leaves. 'Cause that's funny and silly.
Why would he abolish it? He's all about the funny.
Instead of sick leave.
Oh, you think
people
the
get
action?
abolishing it
Oh,
is
okay.
funny and
Yeah,
silly.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
So you can do anything as long as you
he says it's
you
silly.
say it's
yeah.
silly. It's a silly thing to
exactly.
do, so
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So it is still a dictatorship. It's
Well, as
whatever,
long as you can
whatever I
pass.
say goes.
Is abolishing annual leave sickly? Sickly.
Sick leave,
Silly.
Sick leave rhymes with silly.
Yeah, that's pretty silly.
I suppose it could be silly if you're forced to work all year. That's pretty unusual, And things that are not of the norm seems to be quite funny in some ways.
That could be quite funny.
Stinky. Ooh, the stinky monkey will be the official mascot.
Real.
Ooh, you're gonna replace the emu and the kangaroo on the what's it called?
The Australian flag?
Coat of arms.
I mean, the
Coat of arms,
that
yeah,
thing,
that's the
not the
one.
Australian flag.
With Stinky Monkey and Pooh.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2 stinky monkeys, but that makes more sense. Stinky
Damn.
monkey and Pooh. 2 things that never walk backwards.
They don't.
Damn, that's true, I guess. Yeah,
Until they do.
so they do.
You know that that's why they chose those 2 animals, right? Because they were thought to never walk backwards.
An emu and a kangaroo.
I guess
Until
so.
they did.
I thought it was because they're Australian.
That too.
That would be another factor, yes.
But then people saw them walking backwards and they're like, well, shit, we have to stick with it now.
Do platypuses walk backwards?
They swim backwards.
Surely if they close their beak fast enough, they just like zoom backwards.
Woo.
Like a squid.
Yeah. I see that. So what other silly stuff happened this week?
Are we going to talk about your birthday party? That was kind of silly.
That's like I
What's
don't know.
the
There's not
silly
really any
part?
stories with that.
I guess there's not.
I had a little bowling
Went
party.
bowling. Like
It was pretty
Ron and
fun.
A lot
Nico.
of people.
A lot of people. Yeah, it was nice.
I almost won at the bowling,
Yo, that reminds. Oh, you go first.
but I didn't because on the last what do you call it? My last round, I suppose. I missed my shots.
Well,
Damn.
if
Well,
I
you missed
was...
100% of the shots that you don't take,
But I
Exactly.
took those shots
and you
I
missed
them.
100% of them.
Well, I'm gonna be real. For like the second half of that, you were just behind by like single digits the entire
Yeah,
time.
yeah. You were neck and neck with Amar.
And I was
Yeah,
behind you.
What
Nikki was
score did
very-
you guys get?
I got like I don't even remember.
It was like 70 something.
80s.
Yo, I think I was
80s,
in my
right?
40s probably.
Because I remember that 69 part,
Yeah.
and I tried to stick with 69, but that didn't work out.
Well, you could gut a bullet every time after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you know what was amazing was Sai and his like 5 consecutive gutters.
Yo, I also
Shout
did
out
like
to Sai.
2 consecutive gutters. The last bowl I bowled though was a strike
Ooh.
because Nelson said, "Do an Elvis." So I did an Elvis dance and then I
Nice.
bowled and I got a strike.
And it worked.
Fuck yes, that's the best.
Elvis worked.
It's real. It's real.
That reminds me of another less strike like that where I did something silly on the final one and got a strike. I went between the legs, backwards, out my ass.
See, that's
That
what would
got a strike.
happen if you vote Sunny for you
Yeah,
as your
tell me.
local
I'll always
MP,
come in clutch.
as a candidate for the silly funny party.
And
Yeah.
I'll beat everyone at bowling, even though I'm pretty shit.
And then you'll change elections to be
Bowling.
to be bowling like
Yes.
go for
See,
win.
instead of writing your preferences down, you have to bowl and hit the bowling pin with the faces of your local members.
Your local
Oh.
members. Your
Yeah.
local members.
That's right.
That's right.
Speaking of Elvis, you watched the Elvis movie at some
Oh, I
point,
watched
did
a
you?
bunch of stuff. I'll
Yeah,
get
yeah,
into
yeah.
it. I'll get into it. Let me pull up
You
the
got your
list. I got a
You
little
got your
list.
Pull up.
I've been like listing every single thing I've watched this year so far. And it's decently long.
Oh yeah.
New stuff that I watched. Old stuff that I watched. Oh, so some old stuff I watched. I talked about Ted last week.
Yeah, Ted.
I've seen Ted 1 and Ted 2.
I also watched Ted 2 with you.
I feel like I've written down rudimentary numbers as scores, sort of, but more like this is what I'll remember in the future if I liked it or not.
Okay.
I said Ted was okay and Ted 2 was bad. Like
It
Ted
was-
5, Ted 5. Ted 1, I think was just an average movie. I don't think it holds up either of them to today,
Mm.
and most of the jokes are pretty bad.
Ted CU.
And
And
Ted
you
2 was
strongly
kind of just
disagreed
bad
with
in
Morgan
general.
Freeman's explanation on the human capacity to vote. Not to
Oh
vote,
no,
but, you
yeah,
know,
yeah. This is just to be clear, none of the writing in this movie was
Yes.
good. Just like in particular, they get Morgan Freeman, and because in like everything, he always plays a really wise dude, right?
but it wasn't wise at all.
So they gave him a generic wise quote, but it's not a good one. It's like people think with
their emotions.
emotions and not rationality or something.
And that's how you win the court case, I'm sure.
And that's how you win the court case or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking...
That's meta,
but,
yo.
Wait, I think... Was that the quote or was it something else?
Is it meta?
It was
or
along
is it
those lines,
Teta?
and then I commented, yeah, just like the election.
Yeah. But the thing was, like, it did not apply to the movie because it was like... I don't even remember the thing. But there was like a logical fallacy in that statement.
Yeah, because factually, Ted is a bear, and they're trying to prove Ted is not a bear.
It's not a bear. But he clearly is a bear. So, who's really being logical?
Ben Shapiro.
Was my claim.
Facts over logic.
Anyway, not a good movie. But did I tell you guys I watched Masni's Mum?
You haven't.
Well, I watched that.
Is it good?
What is it?
I was pretty stoned, so like I think it was fine. I gave it a 4. I didn't really like it, but I don't know.
Is it about mums and Mozzie?
Yeah. I honestly could not really tell you. It was happening, bro.
It was on the za. It was on the
it was on the
clouds,
good za, bro.
Like the writers.
Oh, I watched the movie All of Us Strangers, which is I think it came out last year, but like not in Australia. It came out like the 18th this year. Fantastic movie, incredible film. It stars Paul Mescal and Andrew Scott, who you know Andrew Scott from Sherlock. There's Maria.
Yeah.
Fantastic movie. It's absolute gut punching. I've written down 10 as in like I reckon this movie fucking slapped, like a masterpiece. The twists and turns the movie takes. It's been interesting because I've been watching a bunch of movies this year after seeing the trailer, thinking it was something else and then getting a completely different experience. And this was like that for me. I was like, oh, this is going to be like a cute romance between these guys. But it's a bit... I can't really say anything without spoiling it, but it's a lot deeper than that. And there's like a lot of interesting factors at play. And I'm like, damn.
It
gets pretty fucking morbid,
guys.
but like... Just such an interesting thing. I can't really say anything without spoiling it, but 100% worth checking out.
Real.
And now this was going to be my favorite movie of the year, but I saw something else that is my favorite movie of the year. But I'm not going to tell you what it is because potentially that'll come up later.
It's the B movie.
It's the B movie. I watched the movie Elvis.
Yes.
From 2 years ago, I think. Baz Luhrmann, Australia, directed. I liked it. I've written 6 down to be like, yeah, it was a good movie. Except for the fact that it completely glossed over so much. Because they need to present, in this movie, the angle is, the really cool thing that they do, but it's clearly a device, is they get the narrator to be the villain, and it's like Tom Hanks is playing the colonel manager guy, right? And he's like the villain, and it's like the story is he believes that he was right in taking over. So the kind of like the question they pose at the start of the movie is he responsible for Elvis's death? Obviously not directly, but like through a bunch of shit.
So it's the movie in the perspective of the manager.
Yeah. And so you see Elvis go through all this struggle and shit, and you're like on Elvis' side because the manager's a terrible person.
Mm-hmm.
So it completely glosses over all of the bad stuff that Elvis did. Because Elvis, in case you didn't know, is a terrible person. Like, dude's bad. And even in this movie...
Bad to the bone.
Even in this movie, you can see the stuff that is just weird about... Well, just in general with Elvis, the interesting thing, I guess, is he like does not write any of his music. He just steals other people's music.
Yeah, I knew a bit
so
about
all
that,
of the hits that you know from Elvis, like...
the covers.
They're all covers, yeah. Like the fucking Hound Dog.
Oh, yeah.
That's not an Elvis song. I didn't even know that. I mean, because Elvis has no songs, pretty much.
Because the thing is, like, because Elvis is white people are like, he's just like me, for real.
So there's like an interesting question of like, What's
stealing
what's
black
he doing? Is he
music.
stealing black music, or maybe I don't know. I guess the way he presents it is like more in the way of like he loves this music. He's trying to give it to a bigger audience, maybe.
Yeah. Well,
But
I
you can
guess it's an
completely argue
indirect
that it's
cause.
just stealing from
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Um, but yeah, I would like the movie more if Elvis wasn't the bad guy, and this movie clearly plays Elvis as sympathetic.
Yeah.
And like, if I didn't know anything about Elvis, I would probably think Elvis was a troubled but a good person based on just this movie. It's also really well directed. The editing and the production design, it's all incredible. It's a Baz Luhrmann movie and it feels exactly like a Baz Luhrmann movie. You know, you've seen like Romeo and Juliet, right?
No,
Romeo plus Juliet, or whatever that, the Leonardo DiCaprio.
No,
Have you seen
Didn't you watch it
the
in high
gnome
school?
Romeo and Juliet?
with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Did you study Romeo and
I
Juliet?
did, but probably not that film.
Oh, well, we got to watch the film.
I watched a different one. I watched an old one.
The gnome one.
But yeah,
Not
he's.
the gnome one.
Have you
Yeah,
seen?
it's
Have you
the
seen
one.
the movie The Great Gatsby?
No.
Okay. Well, anyway, he's got like a really frenetic style of directing, I guess, and the editing is pretty insane, and like, but it really works for this movie. And one thing, I think it's a good movie, but it's just if you know anything about the real life stuff, it's kind of weird.
Misleading, maybe.
And
Or
so
just-
then I watched the new film Priscilla, directed by what's her name, Sofia Coppola.
No,
You
hold
know-
on. The real question about Elvis.
Yes,
Did they show him die on the toilet eating a burger?
well, that's not what happened. Or maybe
That's
it
how he
is.
died.
It's unclear. Well, because he died in his own home, right?
On the toilet.
Yeah, I don't know. It just said he died in his home
Okay, they skipped that
of a
part.
heart attack or something.
So they're saying the colonel/manager made him die on the toilet.
It was more like his life.
Butterfly effect.
There's a lot
Oh,
of like
yeah.
drug stuff and
The Elvis
etc.
effect.
But
The-
like,
the-
yeah.
General effect.
All right,
Yeah.
going back to the other movie.
Well, Elvis has like honestly a really interesting story in terms of because he had a really big like him as a musician had a big like political impact. I don't know if you know about like yeah, because he kind of represented whether he wanted to like it's all you know perspectives and whatnot,
Yes.
but like some people would see him as a symbol of integration.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people didn't like that. So there's a lot of anti-Elvis people out there. They're
True
like,
that, true that.
hey, he's
It
doing...
goes both ways.
Yeah.
It's like, is he antagonizing? Well, yeah, people who don't like black people don't like Elvis music because he playing black music,
Yeah.
but he stealing black music, so black people don't like him stealing black music.
Yeah. So I don't really know how perspectives are now because like Elvis is still... He was really popular back then. He's
Yeah.
still really popular now. I don't know. It's like...
The boomers still like them.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it a modern perspective for people to be like anti? But well, people were anti Elvis back then, but it was
Yeah.
the even older generation, right? So I'm
Yeah.
thinking the fans of Elvis are probably the people who were young when Elvis was the thing. Yeah.
Elvis was the Travis Scott of 1956.
Sure. Oh no, he actually, you know what he actually kind of. Well, this is kind of a much smaller scale, right? But he reminds me a lot of Matty Healy.
Really?
Basically, all the problematic aspects. There.
Okay.
Yeah.
He is the Matty Healy of 1956.
Or is
Yeah.
Matty Healy the Elvis Presley of now?
Yeah. Well, Matty definitely views
Mhm.
himself that way. So,
Okay.
like, I mean, anyway.
It's funny because
But-
I have a friend who has the biggest unironic crush on Elvis.
I think I said Matty Healy
Yeah.
on Elvis,
On Elvis.
the dead man.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Jokes on them. He's dead.
exactly. They have posters and socks.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Mm.
Austin Butler did a great job as him, actually. And, like, I don't know. Just saying.
He could pull off an Elvis.
The surprise, I feel like Jacob Elordi in the Priscilla movie, like, kind of looks like, well, they obviously did a bit of, but not even, like, they didn't change anything about him, really, but they did a bit of makeup, I think. And stuff. Well, it's a movie. It's everyone does makeup, but like I feel like he's kind of got an Elvis look.
Prosthetic chin.
He has a bit of a chin. I don't know. But yeah, I watched Priscilla, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I really, really liked. Yeah, Sofia Coppola, who, famous director. She has a great eye for like certain visual styles. And like it was kind of tonal whiplash from the really like energetic, like Baz Luhrmann shit of Elvis, right? To this like more thought-provoking piece, I guess. Priscilla. And just well, the style of stories that Sofia Coppola tells really fits for this movie because it's kind of like coming of age of Priscilla and like her journey as like a woman and like all of that shit, and I feel like that fit. Cool visual stuff. But yeah, great performances as well, especially from the actors. And, yeah, great performances. But yeah, the interesting thing is, you guys probably know this, but like Priscilla and Elvis met when she was 13.
Based Elvis.
And he was 24.
Mid-20s, man. I don't know.
Is that based Elvis?
I'm just saying, Elvis, he likes them young.
He would have been on Epstein's Island.
He would have been on that TV show where the guy catfishes
Chris Hansen?
pedophiles.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, oh man, I didn't know. She said, ho.
Well, I mean, the weird thing is, everyone was chill with it. Like, I don't know, what was society like in the 50s or whatever?
Maybe like, because he's a celebrity, it's possible or some shit.
Well, his Priscilla's parents didn't really like the idea at first. They were like, oh, you're too young, but not really in the sense of, oh, you're too young. It's more like, you should be focusing on school, not in the sense that, like, she's fucking 13 and this man's 24, which is clearly not a good thing.
Well, maybe they're in that feudalist mindset, where you have kids in your farm, so you have to marry off those kids so you can get
Sounds like
money
a growing
from the
kids
Lord.
from the crop fields, bro.
Is it a coming of age film or is this a what?
Well, people are weird
farming
back in
simulator.
the day. And maybe, well, I mean, the parents could be like, hey, Elvis cash, take that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah. So that's weird. And you just get to see her because it's based on her autobiography, right? So you get to see her perspective on Elvis shit. And yeah, Elvis is fucked up. Like that dude constantly cheating on her, but being like, don't worry about it. But also like, I'm not gonna have sex with you because also you're too young. But let's also get married. But also you're too young.
Trophy.
So it was a weird psychological thing that he was going on there.
Internal psychological battle.
There was a kind of funny part where he was like, yo, I'm reading the Bible and it says like, yo, we shouldn't give in to our desires and shit.
Yeah.
And then the colonel's like, bruh, stop reading that shit. And he's like, yes, colonel.
Aye, Captain.
So and just it's so interesting to see completely same character played by two actors completely differently. Elvis was also like, yeah, domestic violence and all that shit.
Tip,
yeah, you know how we do.
Workplace hazard. Comes with a job.
He also part of the grooming thing, right? He would when she was like obviously, in high school, middle school or whatever, actually, middle school, they meant middle school. He'd be like, hey, you got a test coming up. Bro, take speed. It'll help you.
The taste.
And then at night he would be like, yo, take this Xanax or whatever and go to fucking sleep. At one point, she literally, like the first time he gave her like a pill to sleep, he gave her too much and she slept for 2 days.
Yo.
That's what, yeah, so like, fucked, right?
Sleepy.
Yeah.
Goddamn. He seems like a funny guy.
My one complaint is, whereas maybe it's because I watched Elvis, the movie, and it kind of went through his entire life. This was more like, the movie just kind of ends when Priscilla's like, yo, I'm divorcing you. And then she kind of drives away. And then the movie ends.
Okay.
and I thought
Yeah,
that just ended quite abruptly. But honestly, really good movie. I liked it more than Elvis movie, but I feel like this is probably more accurate to real life. You know, what's
yeah.
probably
Well, it's from Priscilla's perspective
yeah,
instead of Mr. Colonel, man.
yeah. Well, I mean, like that Elvis movie just
Oh, it's
completely
from
glossed over Priscilla, like
yeah.
except the divorce part, pretty much. That movie skipped past the fact that she was underage and all of that. They didn't even
Yeah.
bring it up in that movie because that is clearly a red flag.
Whole other can of worms.
Yeah,
Big
great movie though.
game.
And the other movie I watched this week was good, but we will talk about that next week.
Good.
It is the Claw of
Oh,
Iron.
maybe. I don't want to spoil it.
The sequel to Iron
Teasers.
Fist.
To a sequel to Iron Fist. I reckon you'll dig it because it's like
It's just a
it's got
Wolverine
Rocky
film.
vibes,
WrestleMania.
but a complete subversion in a way. Because it's like
yeah.
it's not a sports movie. It's definitely a
The
drama.
domestic violence movie.
No, well, I was gonna say maybe it quite literally is because the family is always fighting,
Because they're wrestlers.
but oh, that's a bit of domestic. I don't know. I won't spoil it for you, but
Okay,
I
okay.
reckon you'll probably dig it because it has a montage in it.
Oh, I like a montage.
You like a montage?
Speaking of, like, I forgot, but like 2 weeks ago, I watched the 1986 Stallone movie Cobra.
Was it good? Was he
It
a
was
snake?
kind of, as a movie, it was kind of meh, but it had some cool things and scenes happening. He's like they call him like a graveyard detective, because he's like the guy they call in when no other detective wants to deal with the shit. So he's a detective, right?
He's just Batman.
He's Batman, but he's in the police force. So in the city,
Wait, what? So the other cops just don't want to do their job, so they have
yeah.
to get another person in the. Okay,
Well, apparently he's just really good at shooting guns.
that doesn't make him a good detective.
Well, he does an investigation in this movie. So this
It's just like LA Noir.
yeah, the city's run
Yo,
amok.
I was a beast.
Not
in
run
that game.
amok. So these murderers are running amok in like futuristic 80s LA for some reason.
Okay.
And there's like maybe what inspired all the Blade Runner shit, just like semi dystopian capitalist things going on, like funny LED signs.
What
of
year was
Pepsi.
it?
Well, in the movie itself,
No,
it's
when did the movie
1986.
come out? When did the movie?
1986,
When did Blade Runner come out?
like 1980, maybe earlier.
But then
You know,
again,
it's probably
it's also
inspired
based
by
on a
the-
book, so I think they would have got
Mhm.
it from Blade Runner. I'd assume.
Bro, but that was like the trend at the time. Right? Oh,
Yeah, maybe.
dystopian, somewhat capitalist, weird future thing. But that's happening in the LA thing.
Yeah.
So these funny cult murderers are running around, be like New World Order, and they're murdering people.
I like how
So
it's a New World
does-
Order circle joke.
does
that you
Stallone-
use in your right
Circle joke.
hand.
Does Stallone murder them
He
first?
does
because he's
it.
good at the gun. I thought you said he's good at shooting.
Yeah, but so these guys are like taking hostages and shit. And the cops are like, damn, we can't negotiate because they'd be joking about New World Order. We better call in the Cobra. They were like, the Cobra? Nah. And the captain's like, nah, we gotta call him in. So they call the Cobra. And then
We should just get you to explain things.
Yeah,
more
I'm
often.
actually pretty fascinated with
Yeah.
this.
So yeah, they just, so this is a supermarket, hostages.
Okay.
He walks in with a toothpick in his mouth and sunglasses. And he's like, yeah. So he does a one line on New World Order my ass or some shit. I forgot. Then he shoots the guy in the head.
It's
Damn,
just
they
a
really
joke.
got him because he could shoot the.
Yeah.
Why do they call him RoboCop, bro?
Because
RoboCop
they're not
could do
in
the same
Detroit. They're
thing.
in LA or something.
Oh yeah, true.
Finally, an accurate depiction of American police.
And then after that, it's just a montage with cool 80s music. And then murders happen. And he goes, damn, all these murders happening. And the cops are like, damn, we can't solve these murders. But Sylvester Stallone, Cobra Man, goes, there's a rat in the force. Because he's a smart detective.
Bro, isn't that just every single
Yeah.
cop movie?
Another accurate depiction of
There's
police.
always a rat in the force. But the thing is, he was right because
Yeah.
one of the cops peels off his human face and reveals Remy the rat.
Yeah, so it's your typical cop conflict. Be like, no, you're wrong. Shut the fuck up.
No, it's a Ratatouille situation, but with police.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Then it goes all
There's a
over.
rat.
Surely someone's done that as like a comedy bit or something.
Yeah. And then they show this woman, and they're like, yeah, woman's getting targeted because she was a witness. So they go all over the movie, being like chase. So the cult guys be chasing this woman, and Sylvester Stallone's trying to protect her because she's a witness. And then they fall in love.
Oh.
Then a bunch of shooting happen, and then they kiss. Movie, they Sylvester Stallone kills everyone. They kiss. The end.
Damn. Sounds like
Truly
a
good.
pretty generic,
Yeah, but it was cool.
cool.
If you like your Sylvester Stallones and I guess your 80s shoot gun police moment, explosion, and cult New World Order, check it out.
That's real.
Now,
Movie.
we did watch something. Wait, what was the other thing we watched? Monarch.
But it hasn't finished yet.
Yeah, it has.
It has.
It just ends on a cliffhanger.
It does?
Yeah,
Episode 10.
we'll get there. We'll get there.
I thought
I
it
think
wasn't
it's setting up
finished,
the
right?
movie, right?
Yeah.
Because the ending. Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. Do we want to talk Monarch immedially then? If we're already
Sure.
already
Yeah,
there.
I thought the show's not ending, but I guess it's ending.
No, I thought it was meant to go for longer, but it was set on Apple season
Okay.
finale,
Okay.
and then I watched it. Yeah.
Episode
Monarch.
10, was it?
Yeah.
This last one?
Well, I don't think we've ever really discussed the show yet, right?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
So we'll just talk about the season, I
From
guess.
the start.
All right. So non-spoiler stuff. What is Monarch about? What would you say non-spoilers?
It's about the what's their family name?
Brand.
Yeah.
The Rand family, and their legacy,
Yeah.
and how Monarch was first made, and the history, and how it relates to the future in 2015 after the Godzilla attacks in San Francisco.
Oh yeah. When does this actually take place? Like,
2016.
is it a year
Yeah,
after the
2015,
Godzilla?
Probably, yeah.
2016.
Oh, so maybe the ending is setting up, I guess, Godzilla vs Kong,
Oh yeah,
because this would take
maybe,
place. Because Godzilla vs Kong is
Mhm.
2020, right?
maybe,
This is before the world has gone into weird sci-fi shit.
yeah.
Because Godzilla vs
Mm.
Kong, they have like fucking hovercraft. Shit.
Yeah.
Like-
God,
Oh no, but they
what
do
is
have
the-
a. Well, they.
What is the time?
Yeah, you do.
Well,
You
it's
could Google that because I was a little confused as to what the
But the pre the Kongs.
pre the Kong.
The
But
time is
post
now, old man.
Skull Island, because Skull
Yeah.
Island was set in like the 80s.
Uh-huh.
But also Skull Island is at the start of this show.
Well, it's still there.
It's still there.
It's not like they blew it up.
Yeah. Also, I like how the show opens. This isn't really a spoiler. With kind of like this thing to do with Skull Island, and then it never comes back until the very last episode. Briefly, you see someone's watching that clip, and that felt
Yeah.
so nothing. It
It's
was like
false
meant to be the reveal of like
expectations.
it's someone's dad, but it was just
Island.
well, it was actually one of the characters from the movie, but they were just older, I think. Or not from the movie, sorry, from the
Oh.
show.
Yeah.
But they were the older. But it just felt like nothing because I'm like I could barely remember who that character was because I didn't see them in that. Anyway, good, bad, man. What do you think?
Wow, this is so helpful.
Thought it
Okay,
was
hold on. 5 years after King Ghidorah awakened the Titan.
Yeah, okay, so
5
that's
years after.
5 years after King of the Monsters,
When was King of them?
28.
Yeah. When was King of the Monsters?
No, he's doing.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we could have just asked Google. Hey, Google.
Google.
Google never wants to
5
talk
years
to.
after Titans was revealed to the world.
What year
After-
did King of the Monsters actually come out?
2019.
2019, so it would have been 2026. So aren't they set like the year?
I feel like they're not far off from 2015 in the show.
5 years after the
Oh,
existence
fuck
of
me.
giant monsters was revealed to the world. I don't need Wikipedia at this point.
Okay, I'm gonna do a search.
Yes, please.
Monsterverse timeline. Okay, this is definitive. Screen Rant posted a thing.
Okay, cool.
Gogeta.
I hope this has no spoilers for the show. Okay, sorry. All right, so in 1952, we get the past timeline of Legacy of Monsters. 1973, we get Kong Skull Island. In 2014, we get Godzilla, which takes place in 2014, like it came out that year.
Yeah.
Legacy of Monsters Modern Timeline is 2015. Yeah, a year after Godzilla attack.
Oh, I remember. 'cause,
So
they
it's
say
not actually. I don't know about the Ghidorah thing because that's 4 years later.
Yes.
So yeah, I guess the ending of this does. Well, we'll talk about the ending and how it doesn't really make sense, or maybe it does, and maybe I need to do some more research. I don't know. Point being, what a confusing show where it takes place, I guess.
So fun.
But did you like the show?
I thought it was watchable, but it's around the meh too. Alright, I guess.
I thought the premiere was really good. Just like the first episode, I thought was like, and I think it seemed like they spent their entire budget in the first episode, where they had that really
Yeah.
impressive bridge attack with Godzilla,
They did
and
super
then
premise.
some creatures later on look like absolute trash.
Got the bug looking
I think like every
guy.
Godzilla appearance looks pretty good though, because
Yeah.
that seems to be where
The
they wanted to
main
focus.
feature, Yeah.
They What a show though! Like, why? It gives you Agents of Shield vibes, I guess, but also like they're really trying to tell a story, but also like, what story?
They're just lower dumping.
Like, I feel like the show starts to get interesting and then it just stops at the end. Like, I don't know, they have some stuff that they. Because they drop some pretty big lore shit towards the end about how the universe works.
I mean, I just feel like this show has so much stuff in it.
This is like, yeah, I agree. There's a lot of stuff in it.
Too much.
It doesn't know what it wants
maybe.
to focus on.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know where to start with
these
this
people
shit.
have history, and then there's history.
Because there's two perspectives we're looking at the show. They got the flashback. No, I guess not flashback, but the old timey wimey and the present timey wimey.
Yeah, I do understand why they've chosen to do that by watching the last 2 episodes or whatever, because they're trying to establish a certain thing that's happening lore-wise.
Yep.
And it's very clearly Avengers inspired, right? Come on, it's the quantum realm, isn't it? I don't know. It does call into question how exactly this factors into when we've seen some of this stuff in the movies, and if they're doing this, if the law is the same. I can't remember how. Maybe it's I don't know. I'll maybe talk more about the timey stuff at the end.
Okay.
But I guess the setup is Well, the funny thing is, right? This is like one of those. It's a legacy thing, right? But it's funny because we've never seen any of these characters before, so it doesn't feel like one of those, like, I don't know, Ghostbusters Afterlife type shit.
Yeah, no Ghostbusting.
Yeah, I feel like they really do. I props for trying, I guess. Like, they need to try and establish, like, Monarch is a really cool thing for it to be their legacy. Like, that it was, like, cool in the past, I guess. Because, like, it has to be cool in the past for it to factor in to be cool in the future, right? Isn't that the whole thing with legacy?
Sure. Well,
Like,
the thing was like Monarch deteriorated, and then now they're coming back.
But I completely disagree. I think it got
Uh-huh.
much better. Like, what the fuck are they talking about? Monarch was trash in the old days. I feel like they showed that. That Monarch literally, they just lied about everything they were doing.
Well, I guess
Because it was like a part military thing, right? Is it
Yeah.
Monarch better now?
well, Lieutenant Man says it sucks because I'm not in it.
Well, Lieutenant Man, didn't he say it sucks like it's always sucked? Wasn't that his thing? It was like it was
Well,
always
also,
bad.
like, then they complain like, "Oh, all you guys do is look at data and do nothing."
Well, which is kind of funny because that's the way I think of Monarch in relation to the movie. So I was just
Yeah.
like, wait, firstly, I went, wait, what is Monarch? I forgot.
Mhm.
Secondly,
Yeah, me too.
they just sit around doing nothing. Why do I give a shit? Thirdly, I still think, why do I give a shit?
Because
So
I guess when
yeah.
Lieutenant Man was in Monarch back in the day, they did shit.
Yeah.
Like, look at the monster.
Yeah.
But now they don't.
So
That's the
yeah,
argument.
I'm still not interested in the company of Monarch at all, and I don't really get why they. What I thought this was going to be is like maybe like a weekly series thing where they fight a new monster every week or some shit.
Yeah.
More of an Agents of Shield type thing. Whereas this is like trying to tell this big narrative, and I just don't really think it works. I'm just trying to think of, in terms of positives. Now, this is going to be a difficult one because it's like, I want to say the characters in a way that I think the characters are the best characters probably in the Monsterverse. The
Yeah.
Monsterverse. The series where we've
Mhm.
had completely bland, nothing characters. These characters I don't think are great,
Mhm.
but at least they have some substance to them.
True,
And like, I do
true.
think the writers do spend a lot of time exploring each of their backstories. They'll dedicate like an episode to each person, roughly in
did.
the runtime, I'd say. Whether or not these side stories are great is up for debate, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But
Agree.
they are, I guess, kind of not even by default. I do think it genuinely the writers did put effort into the show. I reckon in terms of kind of this whole Monsterverse thing, I think this probably has the best writing.
Yeah.
But maybe that's the problem, because maybe what we were after the whole time with these Monsterverse things isn't.
It's just monster
We
fight.
kind of just want to see monster. I think maybe,
Yeah.
and it's just a bit too complicated. And it's like, how do you make humans seem cool in a world of big monster battles? I don't know.
Which are these humans called in this show?
I
I tend to think not.
the way I'd think about it is like, you kind of, if you want to do that, you think about the Marvel universe, because I feel like the Marvel universe and this are pretty similar in the way, like, you got these big larger than life characters, right? And then you got this little organization like Shield, right? But Shield has interesting characters that they've built up,
Yeah.
like your Nick Fury's, your Maria Hill's. But I feel like this show tried to do it, and I think what's his name? I think Colonel Lee
Yeah.
they really wanted to, they wanted him to be Captain America for one, like clearly
Yeah.
with the some stuff that happens later. But
He's played by the Night Swim guy.
Yeah.
And
His dad.
the
I thought that stuff was cool-ish. I'm still a little bit confused on his motivation, though, in all honesty. Maybe I wasn't paying super attention while watching this.
Friendship,
Yeah.
and he's sad because he's old.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel
Also,
like the
there's a
the origin
big
story
grand
is better.
threat apparently coming, but they don't resolve it at the end, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of unclear if that's going to be a season 2 thing, or if it's just meant to lead into
Or
Godzilla vs Kong or whatever is next. I don't know.
maybe.
Yeah, I'm a little not sure. I have theories, I guess we can talk about later. But yeah. Who are the other characters in this? Who's the character you liked?
I like the old timey characters more than the present time characters.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, I like the origin story more than the problem story.
I feel like even with the old character, like the characters in the past timeline, they resort to like stupid writing with like, I don't give a shit about love triangles and all of that shit. Like,
Yeah,
I
that's the
don't give a fuck.
unimportant bit, but the fun bit was the like, discovering shit.
Yeah, the show that's why I think the first episode's pretty solid, like, because that's kind of all it was. It was like, even with the present day stuff, they set up a pretty interesting hook in the first episode, I think, of like, yo, dad's up to. Okay, yeah, credit where credit's due. I think this show has a pretty interesting hook of like, what the fuck's going on? What's going on with where's the dad? That stuff. I found that pretty compelling.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes the drama between these characters is like so fucking stupid.
Yeah, look,
just an example.
Like the love triangle drama, they barely dramatize it. They're just like, yeah, whatever. But then the drama with the present day characters, like, you left me or some shit.
Well, I think the love triangle, the past, while they didn't focus on it too heavily, it was. I don't know.
They moved on.
It was weird though. I feel like I think the pacing of this show is absolute rubbish. Like the pacing is, especially if you were like me, and I didn't watch it all in one sitting. I watched it like this show aired week to week. I would have completely forgotten half of the shit, right? And some episodes you have no past timeline.
Yeah.
So it's you're like, I can't. What were the characters up to there? And so in terms of like, yeah, you were saying the love triangle. I think the reason you felt like, oh, they didn't focus on too much is because they just jumped around to try and be like, these are the plot beats we have to hit. But like I could not feel the connectivity between episodes sometimes with these little past storyline thing. And even though the past I think is more interesting than the present, I still don't think it's executed in a well enough way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
yeah.
I mean, I don't really just say the past more interesting than the present. It's just that, like, because I still think the present's interesting in the way of what's going on, right? But yeah, then you got like dumbass shit of like, oh, okay, there's that one girl, right? And the Japanese dude.
Yes.
And they have beef because they like, dated on some shit. Yeah. And it keeps getting dragged out for so long. And then eventually they hit a point where they're like, oh, actually, she was also lying, and she has a weird backstory. God. But wait. You got the main character girl, and she's angry at her dad because of something or other. But wait a second, she's also lying. They're all lying and whatnot.
Yeah, the Japanese guy and his ex-girlfriend beef was dragged on pretty long, and it isn't I guess the resolution to that conflict was just
nothing,
a connection to the very end of the movie.
The
show.
Okay.
What were you
I was thinking about. Were you talking about a Godzilla movie or something?
This is a giant movie.
Yeah. I don't know. I felt like all of the drama was kind of for nothing. But also, like, they kind of build up this big world-ending danger, but it's unclear what that danger is, also.
Gojira.
Is it, though? Godzilla's just chilling, though. Isn't he clearly just chilling?
Yeah.
But maybe he's becoming angry if he's going to become, like, the Godzilla we see in Godzilla vs. Kong, right? Oh, wait, but Godzilla King of the Monsters hasn't happened yet.
Probably not.
So he still has to go through King of the Monsters. So this is like the verge of Godzilla becoming a good guy, right? Wait, didn't he save them in that big fight at the end of this show?
Well, he wasn't aware that they're there.
But didn't he save the humans at the end of the first Godzilla movie?
Yeah, because he was cool.
So I think he was aware, right? Isn't that his whole thing that he's aware? Isn't that what they've been saying throughout the show?
In this show, they kind of just exploited the feature of monsters going in and out of the portal to get back.
I would spoil this a little bit, but yeah. All right, let's just
Yeah.
quickly just any non-spoilers things we'll get out now, and then we'll get into spoilers, right?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
to
yeah,
be
yeah.
clear, I think this show's just very jumbled.
What did you think of the
It's-
dialogue?
Dialogue.
I thought it was like I was laughing at a few dialogue bits, but I don't know if that was just like spur of the moment out of context. I wasn't paying attention.
I hated that a lot of it was in Japanese because then I had to stop doing my Lego and look up and read the subtitles.
Bro, you're supposed to
Nah.
understand because you're a Japanese expert.
That is true. That is true. The dialogue from memory I thought was okay. I don't remember. I don't know. Other than people just
Do you have
bickering
any-
constantly.
Do you have any quotables?
Did you have any quotes of the day?
No, I don't think so. But I just remember me laughing at it.
There
I could not tell you why.
there probably was. Like I don't know.
I thought the when the dad and Japanese guy was arguing, they were saying funny lines. Or is it just funny because the context of their fighting?
Who?
The dad and the son, Japanese son and missing dad, they meet and they
Oh wait,
argue.
this is spoilers.
They don't know when this happens.
What
Right.
happens?
Yeah, because that's the whole hook of the show. Is all right. We might just take out that one part and let's just get into spoilers now. Then, yeah. What were you saying?
They argue for a bit, right?
Who does?
Dad.
Yeah, and
And
the
son.
son. Yeah, I don't even remember
But they
that
kind of
part.
just
But
argue
like,
about
yeah,
nothing.
they do.
So it's funny.
Well, wasn't it just like, "Hey, you left us" or whatever?
Yeah, and that's like, yeah, I did.
But then the dad says, "This is not the time, bro. We got to
Yeah.
deal with bigger shit." But also, like, let me watch this old video of my friend. Also, this is from the start of the show, so what a cool callback, right, guys?
Oh yeah.
No,
See, that's the
no.
thing with I feel like with most of the characters except for the main girl, they're like, I hate this shit. I want to go back home. Fuck you. Then they're like, I guess I'm not leaving.
Out of like the main people, I think the main girl is the most likable, right?
Yes.
Even though I don't get what the writer's problem is in. I guess they want to make every character more complex or whatever, right? And they go,
No, yeah.
"Oh, this girl, right? She has her troubles, right? She's trying to struggle with the fact that her dad has gone off and done all this stuff, left mum behind or whatnot." But they just have to go to. They have to show. Oh wait, but she cheated once too.
Yes.
It's like, okay, but like, why did you have to show that? Firstly, it never comes up again.
Hmm.
Never does. Secondly, just why? Like, she was a decent character, and then you had to just try to make us not like her. Is that your point?
Because she has to have a reason for feeling guilty besides the dead kids
Yeah. So I
for
guess,
some reason.
yeah, I don't think they needed to give her any extra. I thought the dead kid things was fine, and like, yeah, I thought that was motivation enough. But I don't know. And yeah, the same like the ex-girlfriend character, I guess
See that thing.
that led into a whole thing.
See that relates to the thing at the end, right? They're just like, Kong.
Also, is that
guys."
company she works for the one that creates Mechagods?
Yeah,
It is
Yeah, I
there,
think
yeah.
so, yeah.
Cool.
which I just checked just now.
Yeah.
So I guess that's supposed to be the payoff,
You
even though no.
I've completely forgotten most of everything about MonsterVerse. They didn't mean for Mechagodzilla to be evil, right?
It was they took the brain of King Ghidorah,
Yeah.
right?
And then
And they wanted to control it, or like
like remote control.
Mm,
yeah. And I think they did the thing of like the eyes turned red or something to
oh,
indicate
evil.
it was the evil.
Right.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. I think it was meant to be on their side because they wanted. Yeah, I think the whole idea was right. They were building this thing in case
Godzilla.
Gojira, and then Gojira's angry. That's why he's like, "I'm gonna fucking blow up all this shit." And then Kong's like, "Hey, no,
This is my island.
my island." All right.
I guess the main girl's like the glue that keeps the gang together, kind of. That's
Kind
her
of.
function in the group,
Yeah,
and everyone else hates each other.
yeah. Also, I didn't really like that one Monarch guy. The guy with the glasses.
Yeah, I
I'm
thought it
like,
was
bro, what
funny
are you doing?
sometimes.
Also-
Yeah, I was kind of like, what is this bumbling fool doing here half the time?
Cause he's the guy.
He was also a weeb, and that makes me
Oh, yeah.
angry.
Reminds
He should
me
have
of
died to
myself.
Godzilla in 2015, 2014.
Because he's the only guy who dares to do something about the thing in the problem from Monarch.
No, he's not. The fucking mate, White Russell's character is doing something about it. But also,
Yeah.
what is he doing? I can't remember. Can you tell me? Because this is a genuinely thing I wasn't paying attention.
Colonel
What is he doing?
Man's like, fuck Monarch, fuck the monsters. I'ma close all the portals.
Well, I thought it was. Oh yeah, he was. That's why he's in
Yeah.
the bombing shit.
Yeah, then he bumps shit. But then the kids are like, no, oh my god. And Monarch's like, no, all my gamma rays. Then they fell in the hole.
Monarch was like, if you close these portals, they're gonna come out of other portals more.
And
right.
then the Colonel's like, shut
It's
the
the
fuck up.
logic of Have you ever seen the
Whack-a-mole.
movie Ice Age 2?
Have I?
Oh,
There's that
maybe,
one funny squirrel character.
Yeah, the squirrel man.
Yeah.
He plants his acorn.
Yeah, I
on the
remember this one
ice.
scene where he was on like an iceberg or some shit. No, like an ice. What do you call it? Like a
Mountain.
glacier, like the side of it. And he was like trying not to slip off or whatever. And like water was coming out, and then he tried and block it with the acorn. But then another thing would sprout
Mhm.
until eventually like, the glacier explodes or whatever. That's the. Hey, I don't know where I'm going with that. That's the logic, I guess, right?
Mhm.
That's what Colonel Lee was doing.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
Colonel Lee didn't foresee happening, I think.
But he fell into the hole instead.
They fell into a hole. And so what's in the hole? The quantum realm.
Yes.
So,
The
but it's
monster
the world
realm.
we've seen before in like Godzilla vs Kong, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in there.
Also, Skull Island is in the on Earth, right? Not in the inside of the Earth. Yeah.
But they have a portal on Skull Island.
Oh, well. So, also, I'd like to say the quantum realm in this one does not really look like the one in the movies. Because isn't the one in the movies like funny, like upside down land or some shit? Doesn't
Yeah.
look like cool.
They kind
Well,
of
I mean-
explained it in this one where they're like, oh, there's parts of our world in the quantum realm because it's a reflection of the Earth.
Yeah, I know. It just looked better in the
They're
other
just
one. It
in
was the same
they're
thing,
in the good
kind of thing.
neighborhood of the quantum realm in this one.
Okay. Okay, so the other thing is the way time works, right?
Yeah, that's the funny thing that in the
So
quantum
is it,
realm.
but is it only does it only affect humans that way? Because it can't
I
affect
mean,
monsters that way.
Godzilla's
Because
old as so.
yeah, no, that's fine. But in Godzilla vs Kong, aren't they constantly like going up and down through the core of the Earth or whatever?
So
Yeah,
they figure
well, that
something
means-
out with
And
that.
travel. I don't know.
Well, that means they just kind of they go down and like shit for a second, go back up.
Yeah, they have to literally go down, take a break, play a couple of hours of a game, come back up, and then wait, no, that doesn't make sense.
Well, but wouldn't that make
don't
sense
know.
with because before the funny attacks of the present, they only come up occasionally.
No,
over
but
the
in
years.
Godzilla vs Kong, aren't they like literally constantly coming
Oh.
up and down? Isn't time supposed to make sure? Like, shouldn't they like once they go down, a whole year
Yeah.
later they come back up for another fight? Like,
Or
I
is
don't
it
know.
the funny size logic? You're bigger, so time is slower for you.
Oh my god.
And I'm guessing
Right?
that's how they're gonna explain Kong getting bigger, right? Because I think Kong in this movie is the size of Kong in Skull Island, maybe, and then they're gonna grow him up or whatever.
Gonna feed him bananas.
Yeah. And I guess this will explain how Kong gets into captivity, right? He's in captivity at the start of
Yeah.
Godzilla vs. That funny. Funny bubble.
Yeah.
And he breaks out a funny bubble. There's a girl who could do the sign language or something.
Gang sign.
She does gang sign.
Monkey
Yeah.
gang
Also,
signs.
yeah, time travel and whatnot in the end. All the
Yeah,
characters from the past.
Is it
And the
time travel
future
when it's funny
collide.
quantum timey-wimey?
The quantum realm was time travel, right?
You're just slower. I guess that is time travel.
Well, they're quite literally traveling through time, just like we are now, but they're faster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then we discover the funny plot points of grandma and dad.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. They reunite in the quantum realm.
Well, outside when they get out, I think.
Oh yeah.
Oh, then they
Oh, you mean
sacrifice
that was the
Lee.
final scene of the show? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that was.
Okay, yeah.
Well, at
Okay.
least I guess not dad, but the main girl finds grandma. So
Yeah. And then grandma reunites with the dad because, like, yeah, that's crazy. I thought you were dead. Whoa, that's crazy.
yeah,
Wow.
well.
Yes.
Oh, and then we figure out why Colonel Lee's still alive, because he went down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, Kennelly's like Captain America. He was down
He
there
was,
for a
Captain
while, so
America.
he's like, yeah. Which what made me laugh because it reminded me how Wyatt Russell
Mm.
was US agent in Falcon Winter Soldier.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was also baseball dad.
He was also baseball.
He was great as baseball
Yeah.
dad.
And I guess the ending sets up. Firstly, 2 years has passed. Oh, actually, let's re-look at the timeline with that in mind.
So that'll
2
be
years from the
2017.
It
on the
would be.
last
And what comes
episode.
out in 2017?
Something.
Nothing. It's still 2 years away from Godzilla King of the Monsters.
So season 2's gonna be 2 years. of that.
Damn. And it's, yeah, I guess. Like, why do we need to set up? I don't know. This whole show feels fucking pointless to me, in honesty. It's like, you know, the complaints we've had about these MonsterVerse movies is the humans, and it's like, yo, what if we just make
Yeah.
a show about the human? That's it. But we'll make it interesting because
do
we'll put in
that.
time travel, I guess.
But then they don't
Human
put enough
sci-fi.
Gojira in it. So
Well, I
they-
mean, I don't mind the sparing use of Godzilla because it's not really about Godzilla.
Yeah.
In fact, I would rather have seen more weird, wacky
the
monsters.
monsters, yeah.
Because the title, well, yes, the title includes the word legacy, which is very, very true to the show, as they constantly remind us that everything's all about legacy. The lack of monsters in the show,
See, that's the thing. They took the criticism of like your humans suck in your movies. So they're like, all right, human show.
yeah,
But then they forgot about the monsters.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they literally just made a human show,
Yeah.
which, like, but like almost by default, is better than the human stuff in the other movies, just because, you know, that is what they focused on because it's a show
It's a
about the
monster show.
humans. Like, what are they?
Human
Of
show.
course, they have to. Oh, also, by the way, this is written by Matt Fraction, who you may or may not know from comic books. He wrote My Life as a Weapon, the Hawkeye comics that inspired the Hawkeye show,
No.
with like Kate Bishop and Hawkeye hanging out.
He must be really
I
good
think
at
he did.
maths.
Daredevil, maybe.
Or his parents are very
Good at
big
math.
fans of fractions.
Maybe.
Like, he's from the fraction family.
He is from the Fraction family, that's true.
There's a medieval origin for the fraction name. Because
What
you
is
know
that?
how, a lot of family names are from are taken from your occupation or your family occupation back in the medieval times or some shit. Or the old days.
That's like how Euler was named after Euler's number.
Yes. So what is
I'm so
the
cheeky.
fraction?
I'm so funny.
They're mathematicians. They deal in fractions.
I don't fucking why. I don't know.
Name a Greek god. Plato.
Plato.
But
Touché.
Play-Doh.
Geometrical Plato.
Ha.
so yeah, I don't even know what they're setting up at the end. I'm kind of like, no, because it was actually so dumb. They're like, "Oh, a monster's coming, right?" And it's just Kong leaping through the corner. I'm like, "Oh, that's
I don't-
Kong," and I just felt nothing because I don't know what. Is that the threat that they were like is imminent? And then I guess 2 years later it comes or something. I'm very confused as to what. Well, they explained that
Well,
some big disaster happened in
maybe-
the 2 years, or maybe they resolved
It's
the
the thing
disaster.
of the gamma rays are like fucking up, all the portals are funny.
Yeah,
And that includes Kong's funny portal. So they're messing with that. But maybe in that particular scene, Kong's just like, he's fucking around. It's like, aha, the humans are out.
yeah,
I'm a fucker with them.
yeah. Except I
Yeah.
kind of like humans because the end of Skull Island.
Yeah.
That's why I'm gonna probably fight for them in Godzilla vs Kong.
But they gotta figure that out before when. Is the company lady in the movies? Because she was all about haha control monkey brain.
I don't think she was she?
Don't no clue. Probably not.
Oh, but no, that's interesting now that you bring that up because like literally Kong is a monkey.
Yeah, so that
No,
I
I feel
thought
like
that was the thing. She was gonna try and
that could have
brain monkey.
isn't that the tie-in though to King Ghidorah's brain in that they
also
use
that,
for
but
the
like Kong's literal monkey. So I'm like, is she gonna try the monkey control Kong brain?
maybe that could be like why he's friends with the humans. I don't know.
Yeah, he's getting manipulated, bruh.
So
I don't
this
know.
is literally Return to Monkey.
Return to Monkey. Do you have anything else to talk about with this one?
Nah.
All
Not
right,
that.
let's give a verdict and move on.
Kong versus not Kong. Monarch Legacy. I'm gonna give this one like a 5.5.
Yo, slightly above average.
Slightly
Slightly.
above average. Ooh. 6 because they tried.
Good.
I think no. 5.5.
Yeah. All right. You know what? I'll agree with that one. I'll say 5.5. It's
Not a
all right.
6.
It's slightly above average, I guess. Actually, what is that? This show's such a mess. I don't even know what it is. What is average
it's
anymore?
Like, it's ups and downs and confusion.
It has some good moments when people, I guess, like the main mystery is interesting,
No,
and you know what? Maybe that will get you through it.
maybe they'll fix it in the next
And occasional Godzilla moment. Yeah. All right, I want to talk about a little bit about something else.
Yeah,
Let's go to something else.
yeah.
Let's talk about
How
the movie The Beekeeper.
The Bee
This film is
Movie.
directed by what's his name? The guy who did Suicide.
Oh, Jack Snyder.
No.
Snyder Jack.
Other man. Anyway, this is Jason Statham, and he's like, yo, what if friend of mine got scammed and now I'm gonna kill the scammers? It's like John Wick, but my friend who got scammed is the dog.
Jim Browning in
But
the
the dog
house.
didn't
Yo.
kill himself.
If Jim Browning was
Well, actually, we'll get to that later. Actually, the trailers say that she died, right?
Yeah. I think
Okay, just a little interesting thing. Right off the bat, I want to say, did she kill herself? Because they set it up
There's a
like she wouldn't kill herself. Maybe there's something else going on. And then she mentions, oh, this money, it's not mine. It's for a contact. And I was like, I reckon what happened is she got assassinated by those people. But then they drop it. So I guess maybe she did just kill herself. Also, why I mentioned that she's holding money for a contact?
No, it's a charity.
Nah, she said like there was something for a client, right?
No, she said. Well, they said outside of. She didn't say it, but the cop said it's for a charity.
Wasn't the charity a different thing?
No, it's the same thing. Because they're like, oh, she's a very nice woman. She's working for this charity. She's holding their accounts and whatnot. They lost the money. And then B-Man's like, yo, that's against the hive. Fuck.
Oh yeah, maybe
Don't
she
mess
did
with
just
the
kill herself
hive.
then. Damn, rest in peace. Ain't that true?
Yeah.
what movie were you watching? The actual B movie?
Maybe I was just watching the actual movie.
Was there a court case? Oh, in this one.
In this one, it was a court case of violence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, did you guys like this movie?
I thought it was a bit fun, you know? It was like, haha, Jason Statham. He shoot and he punch. He beat up all these guys. I thought that was amusing.
I thought it was silly.
Which is
Mhm.
good, right? You like silly? I thought you're the
I like
silly guy.
silly.
As
I
the
like silly.
You know,
leader
like you
of
like
the
a little bit of
silly
silly.
Exactly.
Yeah, I thought this movie was pretty silly and kind of enjoyed it.
Mhm.
I have my caveats though, and like I mean, you got to know what you're going into, right? Yeah, like if you want like that kind of 90s action movie type shit, I reckon you're gonna kind of get it. Now, here's my problem, right? I thought this would be like absolute nuts to butts action.
Yeah.
And like it has some action scenes, but they're kind of, I thought they're kind of short and not that interesting until the end.
Yeah, that was the
I
longest
think the
one.
most impressive stuff in terms of action happens at the end. But for me, the ending is where the story itself just goes completely off the rails. Like it just goes into fucking fantasy land over here. Up until that
Okay.
point, it felt a little bit not completely grounded, but like a little bit more logical within the world. But then it goes like insane style by the end.
Because the South African guy was there.
No, what? Oh, spoilers, but we'll get to that, I guess.
Being South African is no spoiler.
But I'm saying the things
guy
that
is
happen
a
at the end is
spoiler,
a
yes.
spoiler, yeah.
Being South African is a spoiler. I know some South Africans.
Like
Me too.
I did dig Jason Statham's motivation in the movie.
He's a beekeeper.
Oh, okay, that's it. Well, I mean, okay, so the writing of this movie is kind of atrocious.
It's fun.
Like it is funny. I think the
Silly.
first maybe
but I don't think they were trying
20
to
times.
be funny. Were they trying to be funny?
I think they were at the start. They were definitely like when they make puns, puns
Yeah.
are funny, right? Like they're intentionally, yeah. So like they are making funny bee puns, like buzz off. I don't know what some
But
sort of
Jason
shit they say.
Statham's character is fully serious. But
Which I think, but I think the writers
That's
themselves
the
are having fun
irony.
with it. But then they take it super seriously towards the end. They just start like as they try to
beehive.
build out this world, they try to, I don't know, make it into more than it is.
The big bee
And
analogy.
get really serious. And the big bee analogy. There's this really like fucking generic ass, I don't know. Okay. The bee analogy, I guess the big bee analogy you could say is he keeps saying we have to protect the hive.
Yeah.
And he uses it in like a bunch of different contexts, so it doesn't always mean the same thing. But like they kind of explain, oh no, the hive is the system.
Society or some shit.
They specifically say the system,
yeah.
which is vague as fuck. And I
The
guess you
system.
just have to infer what it. Well, that's the whole movie itself. It feels kind of vague in their world building. I don't think they do a great job. Where they're like,
Yeah.
and I don't like this trope, but they do the thing of, oh, this guy is not CIA, he's not FBI. He's the guy who's like outside of the law, but he does it to keep you guys safe, and he protects the hive, which is
Yeah.
the system. Also, the beekeepers, I guess, if they're not doing their quote unquote beekeeping, they have to be actual beekeepers. Or
Maybe
did
that's just
Jason
Jason
Statham
Statham.
do it for fun, like as a
Yeah.
joke? It was a bit.
He took his job literally.
But then someone at one point hands him a book of like how to
Bees.
beekeep. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the other bee
Yeah.
person. You know. Maybe that's the cover.
Yeah.
Or just like that's the manual book. It's a bee book. They're supposed to learn about bees. That's how they learn about the system.
The system.
Yeah.
The system. Also, funny thing, Josh Hutcherson,
Oh yeah.
he plays like I guess the main antagonist of the
Uh-huh.
film. But I like how he's pretty much just the villain from the first John Wick movie, being like the
Yeah,
spoiled
yeah.
kid, and then like the parents. We'll get into that
See,
later.
this is what happens
like-
to the guy from Freddy Fazbear after the movie.
Yeah,
Another Freddy. He become
Right.
a rich boy.
he does become a rich boy. And I guess this is that story. Yeah, I think there is the action in the movie. I think is pretty good. I think it's well honed. I think the action towards the end has some really pretty gruesome fights at the end, and I think the end only. Up until that point, it was kind of like, I don't know. I'm thinking like the first fight they have a fight in a barn, but it was barely a fight. It gave me the vibes of like Echo, where she's just like taking out people, but like it wasn't like a
Sneaky,
fight.
sneaky.
They fight.
No, I tell you what that Bond scene was. It was the first, like, when the people tried to smash up Freddy Fazbear's.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like that.
yeah.
like a horror movie,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
There's
scare.
some decent action in like the part with like the FBI and this stuff. They're outside the building and they have to like
Oh
get in the
yeah, when they're
building.
protecting
That's some
the
cool
funny
fight
call
stuff.
center.
Yeah.
Before that, there was the fight with the other bee person. Was that before or after? That was
That
before.
fight was
That was pretty short.
that was a
really
terrible
short, yeah.
fight. Oh, they do the dumbest thing of going like, oh, I guess it's just. Well, Jason Statham's retired, right? I feel like that's pretty
He's a
well known from
retired
the
bee
trailer.
man.
But so you get to meet the other beekeeper, and they build them up in reputation, but their fight goes for 20 seconds, and then it's just over.
I mean, they didn't really build up the other bee person.
No,
reputation.
right before that happens, they go, we have to do this thing. We're gonna call in the other beekeeper, and it's all really intense. And they got them on the John Wick computers, and they go, blah, 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 blah. They're like, yo, no way can a beekeeper even do this. Only the beekeeper can beat a beekeeper.
Yeah.
And I guess that beekeeper got beat easily. Also, they say
Yes.
beekeeper way too much in the fucking movie.
They say
If
bee
guys
a
seen
lot.
it, tell. Yeah.
And hive.
And I can protect that.
Even the detectives be like, yo, the hive, bruh.
What's hive? There is no hive. It's a stupid metaphor. It's so bad.
Yeah. Even I think the not the lady detective, but the guy detective, he's kind of ignoring when she's like, yo, the bees? Check out the bees, man. He's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. He's sick
He's
of
sick
it.
of
Too.
he's
Yeah,
sick of the
he's sick of
bees.
the fucking bee. All right. Is there anything else to say, non-spoiler wise?
Call centers realistically would be all in India.
Well, that part. Yeah, it's unrealistic. They're in like a. I don't really get that thing of like, this is a multi-billion-dollar organization. I spent $1 million to set up that call center. It was. No,
Well,
what?
I mean, I can get scams still happen scams can
Okay.
still be based in the United States.
In this universe,
It's
they
not about
have
whether
security.
I'm not about
systems.
what country it's India.
Oh,
That's not what I'm
spoilers.
talking.
You're
I'm
talking
talking about the
scams.
actual office and shit. They make it into some big luxury ass fucking.
Because
They
real
run it like a
concepts.
game show. It's
Because
fucking
in
weird.
The game show part is funny, but in real life,
Yeah.
they do have huge buildings like that.
Call centers.
A
The
call
Telstra
center.
call
Yeah.
center.
Yeah.
And it's all nice and fancy. Even in these.
With their funny like glass walkways and all of when a funny man walks
Yeah.
down.
Sure.
They have the
That
big
part's funny,
screen
but-
where they
Have you ever
go
watched,
bring up the guy to the
Have
front.
you ever watched Jim Browning? The YouTube channel Jim Browning? Because he had a collab with Mark Rober talking to stop scammers. Because they have hacked into the security camera systems of these.
But they're just offices, right?
I've
on the
seen-
outside they are officers.
I've
But on
seen-
the inside
yeah.
there'll be like a group. There'll be like the top floor is the scammer groups level.
Yeah, as in like, but the call center itself is just a bunch of desks.
It is
and
just a
Yeah,
call
calls.
center.
it's like an office like
It's
this.
an office.
This in the movie is not an office. It's a fucking.
Run by
It's a
Land
club.
party.
It's a
club
fucking
run by
club.
tech bros.
Yeah.
Because they're into that crypto.
And
bruh.
every fucking person in this movie, all of those fucking people are fucking stupid. Like Jason Statham will come in and be like, "I'm gonna fucking murder all of you guys if you don't leave" or whatever, and then the boss will come in and say, "I'll fire you if you don't leave." Which one do you value more, your job or your life, bro?
Because they don't know what the bee is capable of.
Yeah.
The beekeeper.
And Jason Statham literally has to punch civilian, well, not civilian, the scammers or whatever,
Yeah.
but like the low-ranking ones to get them to do anything. Like fucking.
I mean,
Dumb
realistically, he wasn't carrying any weapons. So I'm like, yeah, it's some guy.
Man was pouring gasoline. Oh, is that a sport? I don't know.
Well, gasolina,
And
free
also,
petrol.
his fists are registered.
Yeah.
He's a beekeeper, for fuck's sake. His fists are
But they
registered.
don't know
with-
that.
Do they know about the hive, bro? It's common knowledge. It's the hive. To protect the hive, bro.
Yeah. They
In
don't.
real life, if someone just started being like, oh, I need to protect the hive, and he's carrying 2 buckets of gasoline,
Yeah.
and he's like, what do you want? I want to protect the hive. Why are you here to protect the hive?
Yeah.
But hey, maybe it's just because that's what Freddy Fazbear wants in his office. It's like, yeah, make it gaming lounge,
Also,
like a
I just want to
gaming
add,
cafe.
the thing where they try to divert from the clear John Wick comparisons is, whereas John Wick's thing is personal, right? And this is personal to an extent.
He's acting out of protocol.
Yeah,
Outside of protocol. So yeah.
But also, I think he is right. I don't really get it. It's kind of like, I guess this is up for interpretation because it's a pretty deep movie. Like, what is your hive? What's the hive to you, bro? It's like, to me, it was just like, he's going after the system or whatever, but is that to protect the system by destroying the system? Is he thinking like 10 steps ahead, bro? Like, is that part of it? Like, I don't know. But he says at one point, nah, this is personal. But I never felt really that it was, like, I did feel it was personal, but also, like, I didn't really. I kind of went...
But they explained it in the movie. Sometimes to protect the system, you gotta kill the queen.
Exactly, there you go. That's the fucking thing, right? So he is just doing his job, but all his old... I don't know. Like, I get his motivations, but also, like... Just everyone shut up about the Beekeeper. He's just a dude right now. He's just a fucking dude. But unless you guys want him to be more than what he is. And then speaking of which, you get some pretty dumb shit later on in the movie when they try to really ramp up how high this fucking thing goes. They start getting into like funny political commentary, or they'll be like, literally a character turns to Jason Statham and said, well, actually, this is kind of spoiler. Can we get spoilers, or are we good to get spoilers?
It's good to spoilers.
We spoiled enough.
All right, spoilers. A character turns to Jason Statham and goes, I bet you're mad that the government's corrupt.
Like, no.
What? Yeah, it's the government. Like, what do you expecting? Like, I don't really understand. And this man knows all about the weird government shit. He's the Beekeeper. But also, I don't... Does like the dumb thing that the Beekeeper is like, the Beekeeper has the authority to just be outside of the authority, right? Because in order to protect the hive, I guess they can't really work for anyone, right?
Yeah.
So that my best thinking is like, he's just like a really violent like HR.
Sure, yeah. Because from what I got from it, it was like his job is to protect the system from shutting down. So it doesn't mean if the system is run by corrupt people, that's fine as long as it's still running.
But now he's angry that they're corrupt, maybe. But
yeah,
maybe he's not. I don't know. Our character just turned to him and said, "Did you know it's corrupt?"
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Fuck off," and kicked him or something.
The CIA, is it the CIA man?
Who?
The guy who said it's corrupt.
The director, like he used to be the director or some shit. Yeah.
Ex-CIA director man. Yeah. Yeah, he's a bit of a cuck in this one.
I was confused as to what I thought he was going to be the main bad guy, because they kind of because playing off the John Wick trope, because they don't reveal the present later. But I saw the present twist coming a mile away though, even still, because they're like, "Yo, don't you know who my parents are?" I'm thinking, "Yo, no wait, they got to do it," and then they're like, "Oh, it's the president."
Oh, the presidente.
And I like how the president is like funny amalgamation of other presidents, I guess. It's like she has like Hillary tropes, but also like
she's giving Hillary.
Oh, I mean, she's not a president, so my bad, you know. But also she's got Trump aspects and like the corrupt election shit.
Are you saying like Donald Trump's campaign was funded by scam money?
I think it was like vibes of like the Russian thing. Do you remember that thing that happened? Yeah.
The rigged election.
Which makes me wonder, like, when was this movie made? This feels like such a 2016
Well, it's election
movie,
season, so they're revamping it.
Oh, there's a movie coming out this year called Civil War, which is like, what if the Civil War happened today? It looks really cool, and I'm pretty looking forward to that one.
But over what? Is it still going to be about slavery?
No, I think it's just about the political divide. It just leads to...
Oh, there'll be LA and New York.
Yeah, I think it's like LA and something messed up. Yeah.
LA's going to lose.
Huh?
If it's just LA versus the rest of America.
I mean, it's half of America, right? No, I must say LA is half America, but it's like America's pretty 50-50 on the political spectrum.
Yeah, if you look at the, what do you call it, the
numbers?
Not the numbers. See, in America, for voting, they use the something system. I forgot.
Poll?
No, the way they count from if the state wins whatever bias, they use that number. Well, whoever wins on that state becomes the number in the national thing instead of just individual people.
Yeah.
What's that? Electoral college. That's
Yeah.
the name. Does that happen here as well? No, it doesn't.
We have a double majority, right? Is that how I think it works?
I don't know.
Which I can't remember
Yeah,
how
I suppose
exactly
it's
it
a bit
works.
like that, yeah.
It's like,
Oh, you have to have majority of the population
In the
and of the
state.
states.
yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, there you go. I think over there it's just the states.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, we went a little bit off the road, but yeah, it gets
Okay.
weirdly political at the end when it doesn't need to for like some, I don't know,
But political
because they want to talk
humor
about the
is
system,
funny.
but like, what is the system, bruh? It's so just unspecific and vague,
yeah.
and they keep using a metaphor that doesn't work as a metaphor because there isn't a literal thing to metaphorize. If that like
It's
there
not
isn't
the
an allegory because
government.
there's nothing. There's a vague. What is the system?
A baby society, you know.
But I like the fight with
Society.
the South African dude. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Good fight, yeah.
Which can we also just say he's only gotten hurt only at that point.
He gets stabbed and he
Yeah.
walks it off.
Yeah,
He got shot like on your cheek.
because
Nah, it was fine. It was
It's
fine.
fine.
It
It's
past the
ricocheted.
point of
bro.
it's not fun seeing this guy just walk through people anymore. I kind of want to see him get hurt,
Well, I mean,
Jason Statham.
or at least have a little bit of difficulty.
I think the difficulty thing for sure, because I was thinking like John Wick doesn't really. He gets hurt-ish, but like
He gets tired.
but he gets back up. That's the thing. You don't
Yeah.
see Jason Statham ever get hurt and get back up. He just
Walks it off.
walks it off.
Strong man.
Strong man.
He has
Oh,
the power of
The other thing
boldness.
about Jason Statham is he can't do emotional acting for shit. There's a couple of scenes at the start of the movie, like where he's saying like, "Oh, no one's ever looked after me before. You're the first person to look after me," and then it plays really emotional music,
Mhm.
and his acting is not good.
He's doing the
What does he even normally do? Is he
Jason
only in
Statham
action?
And he's
voice.
only in action movies. I don't think he's not in anything else, right? He's just action movies.
think so, yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess they got the right person for the job.
Yeah.
Typecast.
So I feel like is he one of those action movie stars that like looks like an action movie star that probably doesn't do his stunt? I don't
Does he
know.
do
I
stunts?
don't want to allege
Mhm.
anything, but I don't know. He doesn't seem like the sort of guy that would do stunts.
He's not. He's
I
not
must
Tom
say he's-
Holland.
So yeah, he's not Tom Holland / Tom Cruise, and
Tom Holland action star. I guess he maybe
he
is.
kind no. Tom Holland's actually a way more versatile actor. He does a lot
Yes.
more dramas than he does
He
action
did all of
movies.
his stunts in the Transporter trilogy.
Transporter.
Tom Holland did.
Jason Statham.
Oh, just Statham. Oh, maybe. Yeah, okay, maybe.
Jason Statham began practicing Chinese martial arts, kickboxing, and karate in his youth
Yo, but
while
he
working at
didn't.
local market stalls.
He
Okay,
fought with the Chinese kids, man.
Okay, that's all right.
he's 55.
He
Yeah.
looks that age.
He
yeah.
does. Oh,
I
I
have no
know. He
idea.
looks.
He looks 40.
Yeah, he's a Hollywood guy. Every Hollywood person looks 10 years younger than they are
Because
usually.
they take infant blood and transfuse it to their own.
Should we go to final verdicts?
Yeah, right.
That's nice timing.
Yeah.
Final verdict.
The beehive, yo. You gotta protect the system, society.
You
gotta
can't
get
trust the system,
society running.
But also,
What are you protecting?
Because, like, if society collapses, the beehive collapses. And there's nothing else to protect.
there ain't nothing to protect, no.
No. So you gotta keep the honey warm.
Hot honey.
Throw a jar of honey to the goons.
Throw a honey to your beekeeper.
You're the honey to my beekeeper.
You're the penny to my
Ooh.
witcher.
You're the protecting to my system, to the hive.
You're the queen to my hive.
Whoa.
Oh,
Well, that means you can be replaced. Sometimes I'm gonna destroy
something
you.
that's slightly funny that I didn't mention before was
Is this a spoiler?
maybe not. Maybe just like the conflict of weird departments from the CIA guy and then the FBI be like, no, building, we take over building. They're like, nah, we take over building. They're like, okay.
Well, it's more to set up the action sequence in
Yeah.
such a way, I think. And I guess, I don't know, for them to like be nicer to Jason Statham in the movie.
Yeah, it's like everyone's scared of Jason Statham, including all the funny big boy deep state organizations. Deep in honey. Anyway, Jason Statham action movie. Funny action, sometimes good, but a bit short at others. And Big B analogy. Don't mess with the hive, bitch. 6 out of 10.
Or I just thought of the idea of us three skinny lads in baggy pants, just like not taking our shirts off, but just ripping our shirts off nonchalantly and doing Bruce Lee shit.
We could do it.
We could.
We can. Okay.
I'm gonna
What did
bulk
you
up,
give it?
bro.
I didn't hear.
What?
I didn't hear what you gave it.
Give it 6.
6 out of 10.
I just like, the silly calls to me. The silly calls to me.
It's a B movie.
Yeah, sweet like honey. 6.5.
Smooth like butter. I'm gonna give this one a 5.
Ooh.
Cool.
I think this was average move.
Cool.
You didn't like the Big B analogy.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I mean, a 5 is average. Like, this is
Yes.
quite the definition of average action movie to me.
Mm.
Like, this movie is probably 70% John Wick, just taken
and then
over.
30% Jason Statham.
Yeah, this is actually closer to the John Wick original script, because it was about a farmer, bro.
Mm.
So, like,
Okay.
yeah,
Was it a honey farmer?
I don't think it
No.
How do you feel that our average Unholy Trinity score for Beekeeper was higher than Monarch?
It deserves it.
Is it apples to oranges though?
Yeah, it is. Sorry.
It's B to Hornet.
But with the fucking Monarch, we had to sit through 10 hours of that. This is only like an hour and a half, so like,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe 2 hours. I can't remember.
So you know what? If you want something digestible like honey, Beekeeper.
And if you really like Jason Statham's head, check out Beekeeper. Or
Smooth like a newborn.
Smooth
Moves
Head.
like butter,
Smooth
like
like
honey.
criminal undercover. All right,
That's the
guys.
movie.
Imagine
Thank
a
you.
honey helmet.
A honey helmet. Ha,
That's
Ah.
Winnie the Pooh stuck in his jar of honey.
that's real.
Oh, my honey bun. I should probably do this impression.
All right. Anyway,
Mhm.
thank you guys for watching this week / listening to this week's episode of The Unholy Trinity.
That's right.
That's right.
That's lit.
You can check us out
doing a
on
comeback.
Spotify.
And Apple Podcasts.
Yes, sir.
And Instagram.
Woohoo.
And TikTok.
TikTok.
And
On
YouTube.
TikTok.
YouTube. I think next week, from memory, I think we're going to review Ted, the TV series.
Oh yes,
Oh,
and the
good old
film-
Mr. Adam recommended it very highly to me.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he was like, "Yo, Ted's so funny," and he's like, "Yo, you should watch it and review it." I'm like, "Yo, yeah."
I think it's probably going to be fine.
He said it was hilarious.
Yeah, I know.
He's a big fan.
Big fan.
I also told him about Ted 2 and how good that was, and he's like, "Nah,
Oh, if he thinks Ted 2 is bad, then maybe this show will actually be good.
maybe yeah."
I was testing the waters. If he thinks the Ted movies are good, then the show's probably going to be bad. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that that edge, that 2013 edge.
It's just bad. Really good.
Yeah. Besides Ted, we're gonna watch Iron Claw. You already watched
Yeah,
Iron Claw.
but yeah.
That's right. Rawr.
Are you guys familiar with the Iron Claw family from WWE? Are you
They're-
guys into the?
They're the OG WWE. Are they?
Yeah, I think they're from
Yeah.
this,
70s.
or whatever the era of Ric Flair was.
Whenever.
Probably late 70s.
No, 80s. It would have been 80s.
Early
Well, like
80s.
70s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, that story definitely goes to the 80s. I'm pretty sure.
Well, count me uninformed about that then.
Rawr.
which I guess we
Yeah.
won't be by the time next week rolls around.
Yeah, I'm actually, once you guys, I'm just warning you, you probably want to bring some tissues. It's going to be a pretty emotional
sad,
ride.
Emotional.
It's so heavy. Damn.
See, this is pre-WWE when it's the World Wrestling Federation.
No, this is when it was the NWA. The National
Non-disclosure
Wrestling
agreement.
something.
Association.
Right? Yeah. So that was before the WWF.
Okay.
And then you'll see the
yeah,
transition
yeah.
in the movie, but yeah.
Before it became international.
Yeah.
World.
Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide.
Have you ever thought about the Iron Claw reminds me of like, you know, I feel like are there some movies you go to the cinema with your friends and like some movies that are better to just watch in the cinema alone and sob?
Yeah.
I feel like the Iron Claw is one of those movies.
Sub one.
Yeah. Because I don't know, do you ever want to see like emotional character driven dramas with your friends? I don't know.
Ferrari.
No, Ferrari was the blockbuster of the summer. Remember, that's what the marketing said. And I get, I mean,
The
that wasn't even
blockbuster of
emotional.
the
That was
summer.
terrible. Yeah. Fuck Ferrari.
From.
Saw
Yeah.
an Instagram reel where I was like, if I get 1,000 followers, I will fuck my car.
But what did you rate
Yeah,
Ferrari?
What did I rate Ferrari? Like, I forgot.
It's like a.
Like 5 or 6 or something.
That means is Beekeeper your favorite movie of the year? So
Suppose it might be. Wait,
Suppose it
Mean
might
Girls
be.
was a bit high.
oh, Mean Girls! I forgot the Mean Girls. That
Yeah,
I think
Mean
that
Girls.
that would have been
Mean Girls was good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Beekeeper was more memorable to me than Mean Girls. Is that a hot take?
Nah,
You
that's
just,
so hot. Well, I don't know. Mean Girls is. I actually like that movie. I'd watch it again.
Mhm.
Beekeeper. I feel like Beekeeper's the one that goes direct to video. You know?
I would watch
Yeah.
Beekeeper again. But with
See,
a friend.
he likes the
Protect
big
the
B
hive.
analogy, so he
Take the
gets
hype.
it.
Yeah.
Like, this.
All right. See you guys next week.
Bye
Bye,
bye 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 bye
bye.
bye bye.
Bzz, 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 bzz.